Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu Season 3 Episode 8. Yeah, last time we get a lot of drama in the episode, and I mean seriously amount of drama. The episode started pretty innocently, very funny for the ridiculousness of the premise. The guy just wanted underpants. That was it. He wanted the underpants of, well, three heroes. In this case, Hugo as being one of the few Eliatropes, and even more, one of the original Eliatropes, Ruel, one of the richest person in the world, and of course Amalia, which is of course the princess of a kingdom. So yeah, it's understandable that this guy wants something special from them, but of course it's the most ridiculous stuff you can ask for. Obviously they weren't very happy with that, and yeah, so far until this moment in the last episode, it's all just ah ha ha, very funny. It's not nothing serious. It's going to be a funny battle. There is not going to be a twist with the villain. There is not going to be a twist with the person that is in charge here. We're not going to say that he's actually the I don't know, the uncle of Hugo or some bullcrap like that. But in the end, the drama came from another source. In this case, the romance or the possible romance between Amalia and Hugo. And yes, we got something that I wasn't expecting. I was perhaps waiting for it, or perhaps I was kind of hoping for it to happen in the last few episodes of the series, in the last few episodes of the third season. But no! Almost in the middle of the season, in episode 7, Amalia and Hugo share a kiss, and it was glorious. It was so great. Unfortunately, the show decided to just grab my happiness, just show it to me, like a heartbeat in a series, and throw it to the freaking ground saying, yes, that is what you deserve. They get nothing.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Anyway, yeah, it was very dramatic. The end was very dramatic for this moment. This obviously adds fire to the mix, and it makes it a lot more complicated, which is something I'm thankful for, but kind of pissed at too. Because, come on, you take me to the glory, and then drag me down to hell. So, yeah, it's kind of a love-hate relationship with the writers and everybody involved in the show. Anyway, yeah, a fascinating episode, and I don't know what they are going to do to keep going this train of interesting topics, because again, the variety in topics in this third season is something outstanding. But anyway, let's just cut this long presentation, because I think it has been way too long for me speaking. So yeah, let's just cut all of this and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 8th episode of the third season of Wakfu. And yeah, it started with a flashback, a Ruel flashback, and we get to see a young Ruel, not the youngest we have seen him, but a very young compared to, well, himself right now. And yeah, obviously this was kind of the preview for what it was to come in the few minutes after that. He wakes up from the flashback, and we don't know exactly what happened. We only know that somebody didn't come in that moment and nothing else. We have Ruel, and yeah, kind of in the first moment that we saw the panel in the ground and the huge door, I kind of knew that, yeah, this was supposed to be the Eliatrope demigod, and everybody was supposed to be, you know, advancing into this, and the major plot for him, or the major plot in here, was supposed to be for Ruel, because yeah, Eliatropes makes sense, or at least it makes sense to me. But I didn't know, obviously, the scale of what was going to happen in this episode. Again, I knew there was somebody related to Ruel in this moment for the Eliatrope and for the way that the episode started. But of course, that wasn't so in your face, at least in the beginning. We again have kind of the continuation of last episode, in which, of course, Hugo and Amalia are not exactly in the best terms possible because, yeah, they have kind of a fight after the greatest moments for my ship. Seriously, show. Yes, I am still over that. Sorry about that, but I'm still about that. Anyway, yeah, they kind of see the discussion, a very angry Amalia, and kind of with a reason. I'm with Amalia on this in this one, but of course Hugo arrives and he wants to talk to her. But yeah, this is kind of a childish discussion that we're having here. That I want to talk to you, I want to speak with you, but I don't want to speak with you. Okay, sure, whatever. Then of course it's saying, oh, that's it, that's the only thing you're going to say. I mean, come on, you don't want to speak with me. I know you want to speak with me, but you don't want to speak with me. Yeah, they are behaving like children. And I love how they say this, that they are behaving like children. This is not something typical, say, oh yes, you're just a woman, you're behaving like a woman or something like that. No, they are behaving in a childish manner, which is something I'm thankful, because again, that's one of those tropes that, oh yes, men will never be able to understand women, and women will never be able to understand men, and etc, etc. No, it's more, okay, you're behaving like children, mature, and become the adult that you are supposed to be. So yeah, I love those small details that we find in this little moment. Anyway, we have a discussion, and of course, thanks to Ruel, Ellie cries because, yeah, she's now really realizing the really difficulty of his situation, of her situation, sorry. That, yeah, his father is probably dead, and his family, his mother and his brother, are still, prisoners of these dudes. So yeah, it's understandable. Luckily, they moved forward, and nothing else happened. At least nothing more sentimental happened until, of course, they find the key for the door. Before that, of course, we saw how Flopping and, of course, Evangeline are trying to escape their prison thanks to the hole made by the fight of Pompon against Goltard, well, one of the alter egos of Goltard, and they try to escape, only to be in a place that it looks very, very similar to the Sadida Kingdom. So yeah, there is something there. There is, I think, the last boss before, of course, the really important ones, Oropo, and of course Lady Echo and Adamai, is going to be the Sadida demigod. I don't know who that is going to be, but anyway, yeah, they move forward, and I love all the musical pieces that we find here. But of course, none of them were related to the entry of this dungeon, the Enetrop dungeon, until, of course, there was a special music that Ruel knew that was actually the key for opening the door. And of course, this comes in another flashback, pointing us towards the real enemy of this dungeon, the real, let's say, boss of this dungeon. And of course is the girl that Ruel was waiting in the first flashback. And again, this little flashback help us to develop the character of Ruel without taking much time, which is something I'm thankful for. And of course, this makes a personal connection to one of our heroes, in this case, in this dungeon, in this floor of this gigantic tower. We continue to move forward in this place, and we discover that probably they knew exactly what was going to happen with Pompon and with the rest, because there's only 4 doors. Again, perhaps it's just the writer said, okay, yes, obviously we know that. But within the world, if we put that, yes, it's kind of obvious they knew that Pompon was going to fight against Goltard, or, well, Dark Blood. He was going to lose, or both were going to lose. So yeah, because they didn't want any of them as the new gods of the Yop. So yeah, my guess is they wanted for Pompon and Dark Blood to kill each other so they can have Eleli as the new Yop goddess. So that's why, okay, let's prepare everything like this. So only 4 people are going to pass. In this case, Eleli. In this case, Pompon. I'm sorry, Hugo, Amalia, and Ruel. And I know this because they want to make a change in the mind of Eleli, and perhaps this is the way that they are going to change the mind of Eleli. They were kind of prepared of all of this, or perhaps they prepared it after the fact that they couldn't capture Eleli. I don't know. Perhaps it's just a convoluted mess and it's a plot hole, but honestly, I'm trying to say that yes, perhaps in the universe, within Wakfu universe, this makes sense. Anyway, each of them go to the respective door, or each of them went to a separate door, and thanks to the help of Amalia, they are connected still. So if one of them finds the exit, all of them are going to be able to, well, exit the place. They find some enemies and some dangers, but really that wasn't much. It wasn't much, and the importance of this first scene, or this first scene before the labyrinth, is that we kind of see that, yeah, Amalia is kind of angry, but is not completely angry because she knows that perhaps Hugo tries to protect her image, and all of that, yes. So in this moment, okay, she's kind of calming down, she's kind of saying, okay, this is fine, I need to convince him that I don't care about that, and we're going to be happily ever after. Well, that's perhaps my shipping mentality speaking. Anyway, they go their separate ways, and each of them find a different danger. The first one is, again, I don't remember the name of the creatures, but one of the creatures that always accompanies an Enatrof. Ellie finds one that is relatively weak, and this creature didn't want to hurt Ellie. He just kind of wanted to play, I don't know. Or perhaps his orders are just contain them for a while, and they're going to find the exit nonetheless in the end. And we saw it's kind of a ridiculous fight because he just grabbed the key, eat it, and he's trying to bury himself in the ground or something along those lines. But of course, Eleli is trying to stop this. Then, of course, we have Amalia, in which he proceeds to push a button, of course, and the walls started to crushing or closing down, and of course, he has to stop them. Then, of course, we find Hugo, and he's trying to find a bigger version of the last monster, and the monster, of course, that we find in the opening. We finally find the monster in the opening, and he's fighting it, and it's kind of exciting. And these, I was going to call them dangers, but they actually are more obstacles, because there is not much danger for any of our heroes here. And they are relatively easy to avoid or to conquer these obstacles. Eleli is just beating the crap of this animal. Amalia is just stopping the walls thanks to her vines. And Hugo is the one who is having not much problem, having the most problem among our heroes. But of course, once the monster lose the pacifier, which is something wait, are you serious? This is a pacifier? When he lost the pacifier, the monster was defeated. There was no longer a threat, and that is the end of the obstacle. And of course, Hugo was the first one to find the real exit and start to call the rest. The one that is really taking a journey here is Ruel, because every single bit of his labyrinth section is filled with memories of his past life. Once he met this woman, and of course he started to remember every single thing, every little bit, that he was kind of falling in love with this woman, that yes, she wasn't in a trough too, but you kind of see the love in here. Hell, even when you see the wedding dress, of course it's just frags, it's awful, it's terrible, but of course it's a Shena Trough, they are not going to spend a lot of money in that. Hell, even the ring that Ruel gave her, it's just, I just found it in the cemetery, and it's not exactly diamonds or anything like that. I think it looked like a robe or I don't know. I don't know exactly what the hell is that. Anyway, we saw the wedding, and we saw again the journey of Ruel. That once they were married, once they start to travel together, they didn't care about the money that much. They start to spend a lot of money, especially for an Enatrof. they start to spend a lot of money. He starts to spend a lot of money on her. Diamonds now, a real ring, a diamond ring, a real one, a big one. Even if Ruel is not that happy with that, you kind of see that, yes, I'm going to spend this with you. Sorry, and they are together and they're kind of in love. Even the meals are kind of expensive. You kind of see that. And even the little creatures that they bought, they didn't find. They bought the little creatures. So that was, it was so special for him, because it reminded her of his wife. So yeah, now you understand a little bit more of the character of Ruel. And of course, the first one to find them. And of course, oh, how could I forgot? The most important moment, at least the moment that really created the character of Ruel, is the moment in which she offered all her fortune and I don't know, ruby or, well, a precious stone to Ruel in the form of a heart, because she was willing to get rid of all of her fortune for him. In terms of an Enotrov, sorry, that is big, gigantic words. That is the truest declaration of love for an Enotrov. So yeah, she was completely in love with Ruel. Ruel was doubting himself even in that moment. He was saying, okay, I need to think this. And this is the moment I guess he break her heart. And this is when the relationship just turned to the worst. Because yes, their annual reunion in front of this shop, the annual reunion in front of this shop was cut short. She no longer returned to this shop. And this is the moment Ruel, I don't know if he find out that she was more important than the gold that he gathered, or I don't know exactly what is going on. But yeah, we find that moment in which Ruel kind of ruined his love life for I don't know how many years, how many decades. And of course, we find this woman inside of the, well, main chamber of the dungeon. And of course, as we suspect, because yeah, my guess is everybody that watched this episode when it aired, and or for the first time, suspected that, yeah, the main boss of this dungeon was going to be the wife of Ruel, Arpagon. And of course she has grown older, but I think she grew older with a little bit more of grace than Ruel. And she's waiting for him. And this is of course when we discover that yes, she changed her fortune for him, but he wasn't willing to do the same for her. The last day they had. Everything is very pacific until this moment. Everything is kind of more of a memory episode that yes, you need this background for you to understand what we're going to do next, or kind of a pacific episode that said yes, we have kind of a funny battle but with a lot of drama in the end. We're going to give you something a lot more calm, a lot more subdued. Yeah, we find that, and of course we find that Ruel reunites with Hugo, and they start to discuss that yes, love is not complicated. And Hugo said, while Amalia was listening, of course he didn't know this, that he doesn't know, or he's not sure if this is love. If he's not sure if he is really in love with Amalia. And he called her kind of selfish, because yes, Amalia has been selfish sometimes, but I think it's undeserved. Yeah, I understand love is question of two, and if you're not sure, I understand that you don't want to be together, but come on, this is my ship! Anyway, yeah, we saw kind of Amalia break of the heart of Amalia, which is something I did not wanted to see. When things look better, again, yes, they have their discussion. It's normal. It's obvious that they are going to discuss. It's obvious they are going to have minor fights. but not when you think that they, oh yes, this is going to become better, this is going to become a little bit better, nothing bad is going to happen here, and they start to kind of seeing each other in the same light that they saw each other before. But bam, no, Hugo has to say all of that, and then he is not sure that he loves Amalia. I mean, come on, you love her, you love her. Sorry about that, but yes, this kind of provokes this on me. And of course we saw Amalia crying. They didn't figure it out that she was really crying because she heard them. I don't know. LLE arrives and the drama is cut short for this episode, of course. The drama is going to continue later on, this is my guess. They are kind of trying to say that yes, this is not just emotional for LLE, this is not just some cool fights, but we're going to mix a little bit of romance here, a little bit of drama here. So yeah, I understand the writers of the show. That doesn't change the fact that I hate when they do this to my ship. Anyway, yeah, a lot of drama in the end, and we discover that actually the Ruel that was having the chat with Hugo is just an imposter. Is not somebody, is not the real Ruel. This was a trap from the from these guys, and a very elaborate one. My guess is the wife of Ruel kind of lured him into a false sense of security, and when he kind of lowered his guard, that's when she captured him. And of course, the real plan here is not for her to become the Enotrope goddess, but to become kind of the wife of the god, and of course the god was going to be Ruel. This is what she wanted. She doesn't want the power to become a goddess. She wants to be with Ruel. Yes, the love kind of evolved into a more obsessive love. I have to be together with you, and if I give you the richness of the world, I give you the richness of the universe, you're going to be with me because you can do whatever you want with said richness. You're going to be a god, you're going to be immortal, and you have to be the richest creature or being or entity in the entire cosmos. So yeah, it kind of changed into this obsessive point of love, which is again something that it's odd, especially for the gag that they use in the end in Ruel. Not a very child-friendly stuff in there. And again, you kind of feel bad for the wife of Ruel. Because, yeah, Ruel abandoned her or could not change his fortune for her. But in the end, she's still kind of a villainous character for all the things she has done, especially in this episode. So yeah, I love this portrayal of different type of romance that we have in the series. The obsessive one, as we saw with Ruel and his wife, kind of the indecisive with Hugo and Amalia, and the now blooming love, especially in the third season, with Pompon and Evangeline. And yeah, I love again the portrayal of a relationship in this anime that is not just everything is fine, the wife is always right, the husband is always wrong, the guy is the dumbass. Yeah, in this case it was kind of a dumbass for Pompon, and the wife is always the smart one, but the wife is always right and he has to submit, the guy has to submit to the other girl, and it's not like that. Again, I speak about this in the previous season, the second season, in the last few episodes of the second season, the kind of romance that is portrayed in this one. I love it, and I love the drama that we're having here, but I hate it at the same time because it involves one of my favorite shippings here. So yeah, hopefully it's going to turn out well in the end, and I'm kind of afraid because a lot of people are saying that yeah, this is kind of the third season, 0.5, or the third season that is kind of inconclusive. We need a fourth season for the conclusion of the animation. So yeah, I'm kind of scared of the ending of this third season, but hopefully everything is going to turn out well. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just rambling way too much in the end. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you enjoy my commentary. And yeah, I cannot wait how this evolves into the end, because we're entering into the last portion of this season. So yeah, anyway, as I said before, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your attention, guys, and see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.